In the last class, we discussed topic number 1, 2 and 3 of the chapter organizing. That means chapter 5, we discussed topic 1, 2 and 3. Today I am going to explain topic number 4 and 5. Topic number 4 and 5 are concerned with two types of organization structure. These are called functional structure and divisional structure. So each of these structures has its meaning, its advantages, its disadvantages. So first we shall explain the functional structure, its meaning, its advantages and disadvantages, and then we shall discuss divisional structure, its meaning, its advantages and its disadvantages. And remember, topic number 6 that is formal, and topic number 7 that is informal organization. These are not now in your syllabus. So 5 and 6 and 7 will not be discussed. Only topic number 4 and 5 I am going to explain. First of all, functional structure, its meaning and suitability. What is meant by functional structure? See, when the divisions are made, when the departmentation is made according to the functions, it is called functional structure. So it is an organizational design that groups similar or related jobs together. Under this structure, each major or basic function is organized as a separate department. That means there may be financing function, there may be accounting function, there may be personnel function. So for each of these functions, there may be financing department, there may be account department, there may be you may say financing department, etc. So here departmentation is done according to the major function or basic function. So it is called functional structure. Now the question is, a major function may be subdivided into sub functions. That means, say under a financing function there may be accounting function, there may be cash function. Under marketing function there may be salesman or sales manager function, etc. So a major function may be divided into sub functions, but the department's name is given according to the function. So it is called functional department. Now where it is suitable? It is suitable to large organizations wherein operations require high degree of specialization. That means a functional structure is suitable for those organizations where high degree of specialization is required for each and every function and for each and every organization operation. So this is a functional structure, its meaning and suitability. Now the question is, what are the advantages of functional structure? That means, what advantage do we get when this kind of departmentation is done? So this organization structure has the following benefits. So these are some functions or the benefits or advantages of a functional structure. Number 1, occupational specialization and efficiency. That means when a particular person is always engaged in a particular function, then after a time he becomes a specialist and efficiency increases, because always the doing same function, due to repetition of the same work, specialization and efficiency increases. So there is a specialization and efficiency in case of occupation. Then promotes coordination and control. It is easy to coordinate the activities and to control the activities, because the controller has to control only one function, not many functions at a time, and there will be easy coordination among different functions. Say coordination between production function and financing function, coordination between purchase function and sales function, etc. Then ensure the performance of all activities. Here no activities is left without performance. That means all activities are under separate functions. So the functional department head or the functional manager is responsible to ensure that all activities under that department are performed well. So it ensures the performance of all activities. No important activity is left. Then facilitate supervision. That means when the supervisor want to supervise the work of a particular function, then it becomes easy for him, because he has to supervise only one type of function, not many types of function. It eliminates duplication of efforts. That means work is not done 2 times or 3 times. Same work cannot be done 2 times, 3 times. So duplication of effort can be eliminated. Then makes training easier. The people who are engaged in a particular function, they get automatic training in that particular function. So training becomes easier because the people are required to be given training in perspective of one function only. So these are some advantages or benefits of a functional structure. Now what are the disadvantages? There may be some disadvantages. So disadvantages of functional structure, following are some defects of this structure. These are the defects. Number one, less emphasis on overall objective. That means every departmental head gives more importance to its own functions, and due to this there may be ignorance of overall organization objective. That means overall objective of the organization may be ignored because every departmental head concentrates on the departmental function and give more importance to departmental function only. So there may be ignorance or less emphasis on overall objective. Then second point, interdepartment conflicts may arise. That means sometimes if the departmental interests are not compatible, that means not competing to each other, then there may be interdepartmental conflicts. That means one department want to get benefit at the cost of the other department. So this may be possible, conflicts may be possible. Then leads to inflexibility due to specialized skills. That means the people who are working in a particular department, functional department, they may be expert in one work, one department, one function, but they cannot be posted or they cannot be shifted to other department very quickly because there is inflexibility, there is no flexibility, there is no ability to change. So training of one function only, that means everybody is trained in one function only. A finance manager is expert in financing function, a production manager is expert in production function, but he may not know about the finance. So training in one function only, this is the disadvantage. Then difficulty in fixing the responsibility. If the total goal, if the organizational goal is not achieved in time or properly, then who will be held responsible? This becomes very difficult. So there is difficulty in fixing the responsibility if the overall objective is not achieved. So these are some defects or disadvantages of functional structure. Now I am going to shift to the divisional structure. This is the structure where departmentation is done, divisionalization is done according to not function but according to product, according to the articles produced by the organization. So meaning and suitability, it is the structure which is comprised of separate business units or divisions where manpower is grouped on the basis of products manufactured. That means suppose in a company, in an organization, there are 3 products manufactured, say bicycle, tricycle and rickshaw. So there may be 3 divisions for 3 products. Or suppose in a cosmetic factory there are 3 products, say hair oil, soaps and you may say beauty cream. So there may be 3 functions, 3 departments for these 3 products. So when the departmentation, when the division is made according to the products manufactured, it is called divisional structure. Remember, when the departmentation is done according to function, that is called functional structure, that we have discussed in topic number 4. But here departmentation is done according to the product. Each division may be subdivided into purchase, production, sales and personal department. That means in the above number 4, I told that there may be purchase department, production department, sales department, and in each department there may be different products, different items, subdivision. And here is the reverse. In purchase department, in one product department there may be purchase, production and sales sub functions. Similarly, in cosmetic department or in bicycle department or in motorcycle department, there may be one purchase division, there may be production division, there may be sales division. So under this structure also, the main departments may be subdivided according to functional subdepartment. Remember, in functional subdepartment, each functional department can be subdivided into the product subdepartment, and here the product departments may be subdivided into the functional subdepartment. So these two are just reverse of each other. Now question is where this division or this structure is suitable. it is suitable for those big enterprises where a wide variety of products is manufactured using different resources and technology. That means a divisional structure is suitable for those organizations where large variety of goods are produced, large variety of products are manufactured. So there may be a large number of departments in such type of organization, where each department uses various resources and different types of technology. In such departmentation, functional structure is not suitable. Only product or divisional structure is suitable. So this is the suitability, where it is suiting. Then advantages of divisional structure. This organization structure has the following benefits. First of all, leads to product specialization. That means here the people become specialist in a particular product, but they does not become or do not become a specialist in a particular function. Though they know every function to a little extent, but they are not a specialist in function. They may be specialist in the product. So due to development of varied skills in one product, it leads to product specialization. Okay. Then fixation of responsibility. That means here each department is treated as a profit center. That means for every department we have to calculate profit and losses separately. So responsibility can be easily fixed if the profit is not earned, if the profit is low, or if the loss is incurred, because each department is considered as a profit center or a responsibility center. So responsibility can be easily fixed for non-achievement of results. Then promotes flexibility and initiative. That means each division functions as an autonomous unit. Under each division there are separate things, separate financing, separate cash, separate production, separate selling. So there is chance of flexibility and initiative. That means we can shift one person from one department or one division to the other division who is expert in that type of function. So there is flexibility, that means chance of changeability, and initiative. Everybody get a chance to think himself, to create something new. Then facilitates expansion and growth of new division. That means under divisional structure, by adding the new divisions or by adding the new product, we can make expansion and growth. So new divisions can be added easily. Suppose there were already 5 products, now we want to produce 6th product. So there can be 6 division in place of 5 division. So this leads to expansion and growth of the new divisions. Then development of varied skills of top management. Top management becomes experience in all functions, because under each product, under each division, there are sub functions like a purchase function, financing function, accounting function, etc. So management, top management becomes experience in varied skills, because they may be expert in financing, production, selling, etc. regarding their own product. Okay. Then advantages of semi-autonomous departmentation. That means more freedom in decision making. Here each department is considered as a profit center, as a responsibility center. So each department has to think its own policy, to make its own decision, because it is given more freedom for decision making, so that it can earn higher and higher profit, it can save cost. So advantages of semi-autonomous departmentations are also available in divisional structure. So these are some benefits. Now what are the defects or demerits, disadvantages? So disadvantages of divisional structure. Following are some defects of such structure. Only 4 points. Conflict arises regarding allocation of fund. That means profit at the cost of other department. One department may get profit at the cost of other department. If more finance, more funds are allocated to that department and less finance are allocated to the other department, so there may be a conflict regarding the allocation of fund. It is always not possible to give equal fund to each and every division. So there may be some conflict regarding the allocation of fund. Fund may not be equally or equitably distributed to the departments or divisions. So one department may profit at the cost of the other department. Cost increase due to duplication of activities. Each department has to maintain its own. That means every department has its own machinery, own personnel, own resources. Okay. So due to own resources, own machinery, own technology, we need to give it too much finance, we need to arrange too many resources, we need to purchase too many equipments for each and every department. So there is chance of increase in cost, and there may be chance of duplication of work activities. That means suppose one machine is kept in a say cosmetic division, another machine is kept in say hair oil division, but both machines are same. So in place of two machines, one machine can be used, but we have to utilize two machines. So this is called duplication of activities. So there may be a chance of duplication of work, due to which cost may increase. Then chances of underutilization of plant capacity. That means if the product has inadequate demand, if suppose a particular product, say beauty cream, has no demand or less demand in the market, then the plant capacity of that department may remains unutilized. That means suppose the machine can produce 1000 units daily, but suppose there is no demand, due to inadequate demand we are bound to produce only 500 units daily. So we are utilizing only the half capacity. So half capacity is underutilized, that is wasted. So the type of waste. And last disadvantage is more focus on product than on total organization. That means manager concentrate on their own product, they do not care for the total organization. They only focus, they only give importance to their own product. They only want to make changes, development, improvement in their own product to earn more and more profit, and to show that their product is having more demand and more profit. So they may ignore total organization interest. So this is one more disadvantage. Now after discussing these topic number 4 and 5, number 6 you know formal organization, its meaning, features, then advantages, disadvantages. They are not now in syllabus, removed from syllabus recently. And similarly 7 number point, informal organization, its meaning, its features, its advantages and disadvantages. They are also not in syllabus now. In the next class we shall be discussing the last two topics, that is delegation and decentralization. Okay.